Jambalaya styled rice. I took 1.5 chicken breast, skinned chicken breast and boneless, 2 tablespoons or 2 ice cubes of sofrito, you see them right there, and you stir fry in a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. This is the coconut oil that I use. It's very good, just about a 1/4 cup. And Creole seasoning, you want to season your chicken with this, and then before you stir fry it. So it's stir frying now, just make sure you stir it. To this you're going to add, this is andouille. This is andouille. It's a French sausage. They sell it at most supermarkets. It's andouille. Let me see if I have any in the freezer. If I have some in the freezer packaged, you have an idea of what it is. Guess what? I don't have any. So if you can't find andouille, any smoked sausage would do. Soft smoked beef or pork, depending on which you prefer. But they usually have it where they sell the hot dogs. And if you can't find it, then get a big piece of the Polish sausage kielbasa. Here about a cup of peeled shrimp. What I do is I boiled it a little bit in this pot and I saved the liquid so it'll cook. And I'm going to add it to the pan that has the sausage or the andouille, and then I'm going to add the shrimp. And you stir it. The chicken doesn't have to be fully cooked because it's going to cook while the rice is making, so it's just a matter of, see, like I use frozen sofrito because I freeze my sofrito in ice cubes. So what I do is just wait until the sofrito is at least thawed or defrosted. You see, it's still a little hard. And I have a medium or low heat when I do this. I don't want to burn it or overcook the meat. Tomato sauce or crushed, I like crushed tomatoes better. So a 1/2 cup of crushed tomatoes. That's all you need to add, just a 1/2 cup of crushed tomatoes. Make sure you stir it well. Make sure you make like a sauce with it. And then I'm going to add an envelope of sazon. See? The Goya sazon. See? I added a whole envelope of the one that has coloring con achiote. So one envelope of sazon will. I'm going to add the rice. I'm going to add about 2.5 cups of, I like the jasmine rice. So about 2.5 cups, almost 3, about this size. Here's my cup. It looks kind of big, but it's a regular cup. And about 2.5. This should feed about 4 people. Okay. Now, I added the rice. I want to mix it really nicely. And remember, you do all this in low, very low flame. You don't want anything to burn on you. Now I'm going to add the liquid from the shrimp, where I boiled the shrimp. This is the hard part because if you add too much water, it's going to come out too mushy. And if you don't add enough, then it's not going to cook well either. So make sure that when you add the liquid, you stir it up real good. Now that was 2.5 cups or almost 3 cups of rice. And I added about 1.5 cups of the liquid. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just a little bit more of the liquid. That should be enough. You know you had enough liquid when you can do this. Wait a second. Let me move this rice the right. Well, this is a heavy spoon anyway, but maybe I could do it with a smaller spoon. So just remember, I added 1.5 cups of liquid. I saved the juice from the shrimp and I put that. Or if you get frozen shrimp that are already cooked, or you don't want to boil it, about 1.5 cups then of water. But I used the shrimp, the liquid from the shrimp. Now I'm going to let it simmer for a little bit until the water reduces. Don't forget to add some salt. I like sea salt. Remember that. I want to just tell you, this is the seasoning that I used on the chicken. And it's salty already, so it's already got salt. So make sure you taste it before you add any more salt. I also higher the heat a little bit, so because I want it to simmer, and I want some of that liquid to evaporate before I cover it and put it on real low so the rice can cook. So make sure you higher the flame a little bit when you get to this stage. When you get to this stage, every 2 minutes, make sure you scrape the bottom, because rice has a tendency to stick to the bottom. So you make sure you scrape the bottom of the pan and lift it up. Okay, it won't let the rice stick too much. And make sure you just stir it like this. Scrape it from the sides. When you get to this point, you see it's getting thick. Now I can stick. You see how the spoon will stick up? That's when you lower the flame. I will lower it to 2. That's how low it has to be. Okay, and immediately you cover that rice. Make sure you cover that rice real good, and leave it cooking like that. In about 10 minutes, I'm coming back and I'm going to stir it again. 10 minutes have passed. Let's check the rice. It's time to stir it again from the bottom. Make sure you scrape it. You scrape the bottom. You have to scrape the bottom real good. After you scrape it, turn it over. You see how I scrape it and turn it over? That's so the liquid will go and it will distribute better through the rice. So you go like this, from the bottom, and then you turn. Do the whole thing, and then cover it and let it cook again. It's been almost 15-20 minutes. The rice is almost done. The way you know if the rice is done or not, just take a few little grains like this. A few little grains, taste them. And if they're all soft, it means the rice is done. But if some of the grains are still crunchy, that means it's not done yet. So mine, there was 1 or 2 little ones that were still crunchy. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then since there's a lot of steam left in the pot, I'm going to turn it off. Turn the fire off, the flame off. And then you just let it rest for about 10 minutes, and that should be done. Okay? Enjoy. Finished product. And as you can see, I made a salad of aguacate, avocado, tomatoes, and red onions. And I put about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, olive oil, virgin olive oil, and a little bit of salt.